Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me today. In my previous video, I explained why it is so important to love yourself. If you haven't seen it already, I recommend watching that video first. In this video, I want to tell you about the book that I consider one of the best books that can teach you how to love yourself, accept yourself as you are, and live a happier life. This book is called The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. The Gifts of Imperfection was first published on August 27, 2010 by Hazelden Publishing. The book is a New York Times bestseller and has sold over 3 million copies worldwide. It has been translated into 30 languages and has received positive reviews from critics and readers alike. The Gifts of Imperfection is a book that encourages readers to embrace their authentic selves and let go of the unrealistic expectations and pressures of society. The author, Brene Brown, is a researcher and storyteller who has spent years studying topics such as shame, vulnerability, courage, and worthiness. She shares her insights and personal stories in this book, along with 10 guideposts for wholehearted living. Wholehearted living is a way of engaging with the world from a place of worthiness, meaning that we believe we are enough as we are, and we deserve love and belonging. Brown argues that many people struggle with feeling worthy because they are constantly bombarded with messages that tell them they are not good enough, smart enough, thin enough, successful enough, etc. These messages can lead to shame, which is the fear of being unworthy of connection. Shame can make us hide our true selves and try to fit in with what others expect from us. Brown suggests that the antidote to shame is cultivating courage, compassion, and connection. Courage is the willingness to be vulnerable and show up as we are, even when we are afraid of being judged or rejected. Compassion is the ability to be kind to ourselves and others, especially when we make mistakes or face challenges. Connection is the sense of belonging that comes from being seen, heard, and valued by others who care about us. To practice courage, compassion, and connection, Brown offers 10 guideposts for wholehearted living. These are: 1. Cultivating authenticity, letting go of what people think. 2. Cultivating self-compassion, letting go of perfectionism. 3. Cultivating a resilient spirit, letting go of numbing and powerlessness. 4. Cultivating gratitude and joy, letting go of scarcity and fear of the dark. 5. Cultivating intuition and trusting faith, letting go of the need for certainty. 6. Cultivating creativity, letting go of comparison. 7. Cultivating play and rest, letting go of exhaustion as a status symbol and productivity as self-worth. 8. Cultivating calm and stillness, letting go of anxiety as a lifestyle. 9. Cultivating meaningful work, letting go of self-doubt and supposed to. 10. Cultivating laughter, song, and dance, letting go of being cool and always in control. Each guidepost includes a definition, an explanation, a personal story, and some suggestions for daily practices that can help us cultivate these qualities in our lives. Brown also provides some resources and references for further learning. For example, Brown recommends setting boundaries, saying no when we need to, and being honest about how we feel and what we need as a way of cultivating authenticity. To cultivate self-compassion, the author advises us to speak to ourselves kindly, recognize our common humanity, and be mindful of our emotions without judging them in order. Brown proposes that we cultivate a resilient spirit by practicing hope, which is a cognitive process that involves setting realistic goals, believing in our abilities, identifying and planning for obstacles, and staying flexible. She encourages us to keep a gratitude journal, express our appreciation to others, and find joy in ordinary moments as a means of cultivating gratitude and joy. Brown suggests that listening to our inner voice, trusting our gut feelings, and cultivating a spiritual connection that gives us meaning and purpose are ways of cultivating intuition and trusting faith. Brown urges us to let go of comparison, embrace our uniqueness, and engage in activities that spark our imagination and expression for the sake of cultivating creativity. The author also advocates for incorporating play into our daily lives, which is any activity that is fun, spontaneous, and creative. And also for getting enough sleep, taking breaks, and relaxing as methods of cultivating play and rest. Brown instructs the reader to practice breathing exercises, meditation, yoga, or any other activity that helps us slow down and be present for the purpose of cultivating calm and stillness. She counsels us to identify our strengths, passions, and values, and find or create work that aligns with them as a strategy for cultivating meaningful work. Brown invites us to not take ourselves too seriously, be silly, enjoy music, and move our bodies in ways that feel good as practices for cultivating laughter, song, and dance. The book's main message is that we can live more fully and joyfully by embracing our imperfections and being true to ourselves. Brown writes that, quote, owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing that we'll ever do, end quote. She also reminds us that, quote, we are imperfect and wired for struggle, but we are worthy of love and belonging, end quote. This book can help those who would like to learn to love themselves by providing them with a framework and a guide for developing self-acceptance and self-compassion. It can also inspire them to pursue their passions and purpose without fear or shame. It can also help them connect more deeply with others who share their values and vision. The book's conclusion is motivational and inspiring because it invites us to join Brown on her journey of wholehearted living. She writes that, quote, wholehearted living is not a one-time choice. It is a process. In fact, I believe it's the journey of a lifetime, end quote. She also encourages us to be courageous and curious about ourselves and our lives. Many celebrities shared their opinions about the book. For example, this is what Emma Watson said about it, quote, The Gifts of Imperfection is a book that changed my perspective on myself and others. It showed me how to embrace my flaws and celebrate my strengths. It also showed me how to cultivate gratitude and joy in every moment. Brene Brown is a brilliant writer and speaker who speaks to the heart of what matters most, end quote. I highly recommend reading this book. I am sure it will be useful for anyone who would like to learn to love themselves, change their lives for the better, and become a better version of themselves. Thank you for listening, and I hope this message was helpful and inspiring for you. Have a great day.